Okay, so what we are going to do now is to have a quick look at my in-game parser, which for some reason I just closed, but that'll be very quick to reopen. And I will just start this app so you don't have to look at the code at all. I'll just get it running. So what this is, it's a log parser, which essentially means that whenever you are playing Project 99, this application is picking up what's happening in the log file so that it can reflect stuff that you do in game and keep track of whatever you're doing. Woohoo! Here we go. What I have ready so far is not much, but hey, it's something, right? So one of the things that works already is having a look at locations. So I'm tracking where every tune you have is, so that it's easy for you to figure out, okay, where did I park that tune last time? A couple of other things that are implemented is target tracking, so we can actually assign times of death and then have a look at what is in window, when it should be popping. These are all fake data, by the way, but I can click on them and get some extra information on all of them. And you can manage all of these as, for example, adding new mobs to track by just going in and inputting some data. So no details on that. What I've been working on lately is something called the experience group view, which essentially lets you set up an experience group. So let's set the camp and call this, for example, the docs camp. It will give you a title, and let's add a couple of people to the group. So for example, Kutch should be already in the group, so I will add Hopla, and let me add Kutch as well, and let's add Yumoli, and my mage Vichy, and why not Straff. And do I have any more? Let's see, Kutch Straff. Ah yeah, my druid Silhouette. Here we go. So this is an experience group, haha. And in-game, whenever people join or leave the group, this list will update automatically. And you can see that it's already alphabetically sorted. So one of the things that I can immediately do is, okay, I can start the rotation. So I'll make the next looter the first one on the list. Then I click on copy rotation. Bingo. So now it's copied, and since I usually am not looking at this in-game, I know that when I hear bingo, I can just paste something into the game. So to fake that, let's bring up a notepad, and let's just hit paste, and you can see that it copies a group command with the loot rotation, the current looter, and the order for each of the group members. And I can also force the next looter. So, for example, if Yumuli just joined and Vichy would be up for next loot, I can just make her the next looter. And if I copy the rotation again, bingo, and paste it into the game, you can now see that it's my mage Vichy who is marked. Okay, cool. So let's just, and the group leader has the king crown, of course. So I'll make Kutch my next looter, and then I will look in my log file here, and let's find a line where I have looted something. So you have looted is usually what it says in the log file, and this of course happens during the game. So here I got a fiery jewel of the underfoot. Let's copy that value, and I have a secret key combination that only I know, which I can use to paste fake log lines into my application. And woohoo! So what happened there was the game played a sound, because this is an item that should advance a player to the next player in a loot rotation. So You know, usually when you're doing experience groups, there is a rotation for gems, and the fiery jewel of the underfoot is one such gem. It's worth around 100 platinum in the tunnel, and 98 platinum to a vendor. So these two prices on the lines here indicate what an item is worth in the tunnel and what it's worth to a vendor. Let's click on this. And what you can see is that I get a very nice view of this item. I have already marked it as something that I should be vendoring, and also that it's usually part of a rotation. And the type of item is often predetermined. For example, if it's a weapon, it would have a damage delay, so I can automatically figure out what kind of item it is. But if for some reason the type is wrong, I can just go in and change the type. So fiery jewel of the underfoot. Let's say this is a quest item. I can just change that to quest item, and then that's nice and peachy. And I can also write notes about them. So for example, sell this in kinos for some reason. And what I've done is I've scraped all my log files looking for whenever I sold something to a vendor. So I have an extensive database of vendor prices and what they offered me. And so what this vendor information view here is doing is it's sorting on the price, the best price, showing me which vendor gave me the best price for any item in the game. So if I'm curious about what an item is worth, you can see Katha Fire Spinner. She's the vendor in East Common Lands. You shouldn't sell stuff to her because she cheats. She underpays. But Amata is a nice vendor. So let me just put that window up here. So and close. Let's see if this works. So if I click on her again, you see that it opens up the wiki page, and I can see that she's in North Freeport, and she usually pays well. So you should sell stuff to her, no doubt. There's actually one entry from the tunnel itself. So whenever people are in the tunnel and screaming about stuff they want to sell, and if they include the price in their sales message, then I will catch it in my application and store it. So we can see here that it's been sold for 100 platinum pieces at some point in time. So let me just close this one and have a look at some interesting items, because the rotation gems, of course, are part of the everyday Everquest experience. Oh, one more thing. I can also mark players as skipped. Oh, let me close and reopen this. I have to... Yeah, that's not working. It was working. So, yeah. But you can mark players as skipped in rotation. So if one player says that, I don't want to be part of the rotation, I'm filthy rich, then the game will, or this scraper, whatever you call it, will just skip that player in the rotation. So, and if I copy the rotation now, I should see, no, it's not working. I'll fix that. Haha. The other thing that you can do with this application is that you can look up items directly from the game. So if I open up my notepad, and so you're in the game, you're bored, somebody loots an item, you're not sure what item that is. If you type in URL I for item, and then the item name, Monk Epic here. So if you type in this command inside the game, what it will be producing in the log file is, first it will create some date, and then the log will say opening I celestial fists, like so. So if I copy that line and I use my secret key combination to paste that into my application to fake it, then I will bring up the information about that item. So here we can see this is the Monk Epic, and we can see all of the stats here. I've ticked off to sell it in the tunnel, which is never going to happen. But hey, that's how it is. And you can also see here that the pricing information doesn't look very good. So let me just re-scrape this, which will go onto the wiki page. It will scrape the wiki page for information. But in this case, it didn't find anything because this is a monk epic and people don't typically sell monk epics in the East Commonlands tunnel. So let's just close that. What else do we have? Let's see, Geldorin. We can have a look at that. So let's say I look up an item. And here we can see the Geldorin. I also added a couple of extra things. So let me just re-scrape this item. Here we go, because this is a weapon. And so this is definitely something I can sell in the tunnel. And if you have a close look at the damage delay, I also added a DPS indicator. So I just essentially just take the damage and delay, and I figure out how much damage per second does that give us. And you can, of course, open up multiple weapons. So let's see, what else is... I think there's something called Shield Storm. Let's see if that exists. Yeah, it does. So... Oh, and it didn't find any damage information. That's interesting. Oh, here we go. 2 slashing. So this one has a DPS indicator of 5.12, while the Geldorin has 7.92, which is essentially better. But yeah, so you can compare items like this. So if you're in the tunnel and you see an item for sale and you're wondering, okay, does this give me better stats than my current weapon? Then of course you can just URL-I using this simple command, URL-I in-game, and these windows will pop up. Cool beans, and that's what I have so far. I'm also working on a ton of different stuff. So this application actually used to have an auction window where all of the items for sale in the EC tunnel will appear here. So you can, for example, just readjust here. So you can search for stuff that people are screaming about. But I'm currently redesigning and rewriting all of the code here because I was not happy about how this worked. But essentially, if you put your character in the EC tunnel, then this log parser will also transmit those items and make sure that all items that are seen here, you can figure out who is the vendor or the seller of that item. You can see the price statistics for it. You can search for items. You even have your own items selling that you can so if you sell stuff, then they will appear here and you will automatically see the price history for those. And lastly, you can also see people wanting to buy stuff with this app. So that's what I'm working on next. One funny feature of this is that if I go to my settings here, I have one setting that is called underbid percentage. And what it does is I can place a bid for an item and it will automatically calculate an underbid and create a tell message to the seller that is selling that item, and it's underbidding by the amount that you put in your settings. So yeah, if you're I don't know how moral that is, but hey, I'm not here to discuss morality. I'm just a software developer having fun writing some cool stuff. So yeah, that's what I have so far. It's in the making. If you want to test this out or try it out, I still have around a week or so of coding to do before I can feel that I'm ready. But it's starting to take shape. So, yep, that's my app. I'm going to stop recording now and have a good one. Bye-bye.